Alright. Hello, everybody. It is I, Granorite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Fire Red with our next normal type team, this wonderful team that Christian Amon has given us, which is not going to evolve at all. It's going to be Smeargle, Ditto, Swablu, Azurill, and Castform. So as always, we're going to read some Pokemon biologies. We'll get the team up to level 8, and then go take on our rival. Starting here with Smeargle. Knows own tempo for its ability, so it can't be confused. Okay, stats. I already went and got it scratch with its first sketch, so we didn't have to worry about that. What do we know about Smeargle? Well, Smeargle is known as the Painter Pokemon, and it stands 3 feet 11 inches tall, or 1.2 meters, weighs 127.9 pounds, or 58.0 kilograms, and is a fast leveling rate Pokemon. Smeargle is a bipedal, beagle-like Pokemon with white and brown fur. It has a long tail with an end resembling a paintbrush, and the tail tip oozes with a mysterious paint-like fluid. And although the color of the paint is predetermined for each individual Smeargle, it may otherwise vary. The Smeargle's paint hue may also change in intensity with its emotional state. Smeargle has a footprint on its back that is typically the same color as the paint on the tip of its tail, although Smeargle can have a separate back and tail colors in Pokemon Stadium 2. The mark placed on Smeargle's back is a sign of adulthood. Smeargle also has a round structure on its head with a point that resembles a beret. It has a floppy brown ears, a brown collar on its neck, and the rings encircling Smeargle's eyes are also brown, as are Smeargle's eyelids. Its arms have 2 brown bands, and its legs only have 1. Each of its limbs has 3 digits. Smeargle's in-game appearances in Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, as well as Pokemon Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, all depicted with red paint on its back and tail, while its shiny coloration is depicted as green. The inverse is true in Generation 3 core series games and in every generation from Generation 4 onwards. Pokemon Stadium 2 in the Pokemon series episode Art of the Pokemon both depict Smeargle of having a blue back and tail colors, while the animated series depicts Smeargle having yellow back and tail colors. Its shiny coloration in Stadium 2 can also be seen with teal, orange, and indigo paint on its back. Smeargle uses its paint to mark its territory. There are over 5,000 known different marks that Smeargle uses, and paintings of certain symbols are highly valued by Smeargle fanatics, who will pay large sums to own them. It can also use its signature move Sketch to copy moves from other Pokemon. Smeargle is the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Sketch. It is often found in urban areas filled with graffiti. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Smeargle. Fire Red says once it becomes an adult, it has the tendency to let its comrades paint footprints on its back. Leaf Green says a special fluid oozes from the tip of its tail. It paints the fluid everywhere to mark its territory. Next we have Ditto, who has Limber for its ability. Of course, all it knows is Transform, and we don't really care about its stats except for speed and attack because it's going to be turning it to the opponent. Ditto is known as the Transform Pokemon. Stands 1 foot tall or 0.3 meters and weighs 8.8 pounds or 4.0 kilograms and is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. In its natural state, Ditto is a light purple or pink blob-like Pokemon with vestigial facial features. And there's a bot in the chat. Let's go ahead and report that. Alright, it is often referred to as amorphous, but it has a relatively consistent appearance in official artwork, including 2 small nubs on its head, a few soft lumps at its base, and 2 pseudopod-like protrusions in place of arms. The face consists of beady eyes, a simple mouth, almost always pulled into a smile. Ditto bears a variety of unusual and often entirely unique traits that set it apart from every other Pokemon. It's capable of transforming into an exact replica of any physical object or living creature, including its form and properties. Each Ditto has its own strengths and weaknesses when it comes to transforming, being unable to remain transformed while laughing, and getting details of its transformation wrong if based on memory being apparently universal. The trading cards depict Ditto able to transform separate sections of its body into parts from multiple Pokemon at once. Similarly, in Pokemon Pokopia, Ditto can transform parts of its body even while transformed as a human, such as transforming its arms into Bulbasaur vines to use a leafage. In the Pokemon the Series episode, Ditto's Mysterious Mansion and Deceiving Appearances, as well as the trading cards and spin-off games, it is shown that Ditto cannot change its face during transformation. This trait has become synonymous with the species, despite being incongruous with their depiction in the core series game. As depicted in Pokemon Horizons, the series, Ditto can also transform into specific parts of a person, object, or Pokemon's body, allowing it to pose as set apart. Its body is incredibly elastic in every form it takes, allowing it to achieve feats like being stretched, twisted, squished with no pain or effort. While its transformation ability allows it to get along with almost anything, it does not get along with its own kind and will quickly and generally fruitlessly attempt to transform into. While Ditto can transform into a human, it cannot mimic human speech. It transforms to a rock when sleeping to avoid being attacked. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Ditto is known to sleep while transformed to either a rock or a Pokemon. The latter is noted to be a very rare occasion. In Blueberry Academy, various Ditto blocks can be found as objects in the Blueberry Quest throughout the terrarium, where Ditto will seemingly transform into one of the many cubes with rounded edges to make up many of the shiny structures of the terrarium. Despite being milestones for players to obtain, they are not actually obtainable themselves. They can still be shiny. Ditto is never far from civilization or people, and is the only Pokemon capable of using Metal Powder and Quick Powder items. It is the only known Pokemon that can have Imposter as an ability. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Ditto, Fire Red says it can freely recombine its own cellular structure to transform into other life forms, and Leaf Green says capable of copying an opponent's genetic code to instantly transform itself into the duplicate of an enemy. Alright. And then next we have Swablu, who has natural cure for its ability, decent defensive stats, knows peck and growl right now. Swablu is known as the Cotton Bird Pokemon, stands 1 foot 4 inches tall or 0.4 meters and weighs 2.6 pounds or 1.2 kilograms. It is an erratic leveling rate Pokemon. Swablu is an avian Pokemon with a round blue body. Since it has no discernible neck, its body appears to be all head, and there are 2 long feathers on top of its head. It has a short, rounded white beak and beady black eyes. Its wings are fluffy and white, resembling cotton or clouds, and are made of air. The wings have a light and fluffy feel, and it has tiny white feet with 2 pointed tail feathers. Swablu does not like dirty surroundings. It also cleans things with its cottony wings diligently. It uses streams, freshwater springs, or a man-made shower to wash its wings when they become dirty from polishing. It is commonly found living in flocks and forested habitats, but it often flies closer to towns during the spring. Swablu is very friendly and largely unafraid of humans. As a result, it frequently perches on people's heads like a fluffy hat. Swablu can easily hide from foes in clouds thanks to its appearance. As mentioned in the Sleep Style deck, Swablu is known to sleep curled up with its wings folded. Swablu is believed to be dreaming about perching atop someone's head. In our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Swablu, Fire Red and Leaf Green says it constantly grooms its cotton-like wings. It takes a shower to clean itself if it becomes dirty. And then next we have Azurill, who has Thick Fat for its ability, decent defensive stats, no Splash and Charm right now, which means we're going to be swapping it in and out until it learns a damaging attack. Azurill is known as the Polka Dot Pokemon, stands, is that right? 8 inches tall? I think it's just 8 inches tall, or 0.2 meters. There's an extra 0 in there that was throwing me off. Weighs 4.4 pounds or 2.0 kilograms. Fast leveling rate Pokemon. Azurill is a round blue mouse Pokemon. It has circular ears with pink insides, and there are 2 white dots on its cheek. It has black eyes, and its thin black zigzagging tail has a large blue ball at the end, about the same size as its body. It has no visible arms whatsoever. The ball is bouncy and packed with the nutrients it needs to be able to grow. The ball is also used as a flotation device while swimming. Accompanied by it kicking its legs, it can be seen bouncing and playing on this ball quite often. The tail can also be spun around like a lasso. When the tail is thrown, the body can go as far as 33 feet or 10 meters. It typically moves around on land by bouncing on its tail. Although Azurill is typically docile, it swings the big ball on its tail to smash into opponents bigger than itself when angered. It lives at the water's edge, where they gather to splash around for fun on sunny days. Prior to Generation 6 and Generation 9, Azurill in its evolved form is the only Pokemon that can have huge power as an ability. And our Generation 3 Pokedex information for Azurill both say it battles by flinging around its tail, which is bigger than its body. Its tail is used as a flotation device in water. And also, I started with Azurill with an Everstone, so we didn't have to worry about it trying to evolve into Marill and such. That wasn't going to give it any bonuses. It just keeps us from having to smash through keeping it from evolving. Last but not least, we have Castform here, which has 4 casts for its ability. Currently just knows Tackle. Castform is known as the Weather Pokemon. Stands 1 foot tall, or 0.3 meters, and weighs 1.8 pounds, or 0.8 kilograms, and is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Castform is an artificial Pokemon that changes appearance and attitude based on the weather. Its body is made of cells exactly like those of water molecules, causing its cellular structure to be chemically altered by temperature and humidity. Though not of its free will, Castform uses its ability to protect its tiny body. In its normal form, it resembles a plague-grain cloud with a single wisp extending from the top of its head. Regardless of the form it takes, it always has a large spherical head and lighter-colored mask-like markings over its eyes. Various experiments were conducted to change its form in artificial conditions, but all have failed. Despite its man-made origins, it can be found in grassland areas. It's the only known Pokemon that can have the 4th pass ability and a Generation 3 Weather Ball with its signature move. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Castform, Fire Red and Leaf Green, says it has the ability to change its form into the sun, rain, or snow cloud depending on the weather. And we won't be doing any of that actively. So, we need to catch a couple Pokemon, and then we need to start leveling up. Let's go ahead and buy some Pokeballs. And then I think we're going to go down here and catch ourselves a Pidgey and a Rattata first. There's our Rattata. We'll find ourselves a Pidgey next. No. No. There we go. We need these, of course, for those leftovers that we're going to get later. Let's go for that Mankey. Almost got it. Scratch it one more time. Nah, I shouldn't have. This one seems a little tougher. There we go. Alright, we'd still like to catch a Spearow. We need that so we can also trade for a Farfetch'd later. Since we need to level up, let's go ahead and swap Swablu over, because it's going to be getting attack stat from these Mankeys. Might as well start that process of leveling up while we look for a Spearow. Come on. One Spearow. I always like to come over here and do this leveling later, because it's where we fight our rival. Man, I haven't seen a single one. Crazy. There we go. Alright, now let's get this potion. Get shown how to catch Pokemon, and then go to the forest and catch some stuff there. Alright, there's our Caterpie. You don't want Caterpies for experience, though. Let's see if we can get ourselves a Weedle. Nice. We're looking for Cocoons for experience and to catch. And a Pikachu as well. Here's a Metapod. Oh, we knocked it out. Alright. I was expecting it to be able to take one more hit, and I guess I was wrong. Here's a Kakuna, I guess. Oh, come on, Smeargle. At least that's, you know, those are stats that we want on Smeargle. We want it to be defensively trained. Alright, can we catch this one? Pretty tough. We keep knocking them out with that last hit. I thought I'd be left with like 1 HP. But I was wrong. Alright, there's our Kakuna. Still need a Metapod. And a Pikachu. Oh, I need to be swapping Azurill in and out too, don't I? Who else is winning defense? Azurill wants defense. I think Swablu wants defense. Alright. Well, if Azurill doesn't get up to level 8, whatever. Alright, we still need to catch a Metapod and a Pikachu. Stay in the Pokeball, Metapod. Thank you. Alright. Let's just swap Azurill up. A shiny Metapod, look at that. Not often we run across a shiny Pokemon. Ah, great. Poisoned. Azurill's gonna faint before we get it healed. That's fine. Just lowers its happiness so it doesn't try to evolve. Not that it's going to, because it's got that Everstone already. Hey, back off. Being able to escape seems closely tied with speed. Oh, good job, Smeargle, I guess. It's not what we wanted to happen. Alright, here's another thing to do. Let's not knock this one out. Hooray! Alright, Cocoon Pokemon. Oh, fuck you, Weedle. Azurill can't even do anything in a fight. We caught everything we need to catch. We're just trying to level up now, and Azurill keeps getting poisoned, which is great. Alright, one more cocoon will get Smeargle up, and then we'll keep focusing on Azurill using Swablu. Alright, excellent. Cocoons. Cocoon Pokemon. I'll be patient. As bad as this team is, we're gonna get the EVs that we want on our Pokemon. Alright, that's 7 on Azurill. Come on. We might keep doing this swapping in and out until Swablu... Either Swablu gets to level 8 or Azurill, I think, learns a move at level 10. Pretty sure that's when Azurill learns Bubble. Lots of cocoons. Nice. I think we'll definitely at least keep swapping Azurill out until Swablu gets up to 8. And we'll see where we're at if we want to go any further. Back off, Weedle. Nah. Swablu just slows down a lot, so that erratic leveling rate requires a bunch of experience early game, and then it speeds up later. Alright, let's go get our pecs back. Da, da, da. Come on. We still haven't even started with Ditto yet. Gotta work with the other bad Pokemon first. Not that Ditto's bad. Ditto's just hard to grass train because the grass train Pokemon don't have good stats or good moves. And Ditto is at the mercy of their stats. And then we only get 5 of their moves anyway. I can tell you, we're probably only going to get 1 Pokemon episode in today, even though I know today's a 2-day, but the grass training to get up to 14 is going to probably be painful for me. It's just going to take a while. Alright, keep it going, Azurill. Alright, that's 9 on Azurill. Is Azurill going to hit 10 before Swablu hits 8? Because that would be crazy. Come on, just a few more cocoons. I'm gonna need to go heal again. I have 15 packs. I should have enough. Alright, 1 more cocoon will do it for Swablu. And it looks like maybe like 1 more beyond that will do it for Azurill. 2 more. We'll do 2 more. We're gonna just get 10 on Azurill. We're already here. Might as well get it done. One more. Yay, we learned Bubble. That's all I wanted. Alright, let's go Ditto first. Ditto only cares about 2 EVs. HP and speed. Let's just swap in Castform here. Castform wants HP and special attack. The reason we don't care about any other EVs for Ditto is because it copies the opposing stats of the Pokemon except for HP after it transforms. So we want speed to be able to go first. And we want HP, since that's what we retain, and I'm not going to knock this thing out. See if I can get to a struggle. I'm just going to be swapping Castform in with it now. And I want to focus on HP right now because there's tons of trainers with Pokemon with speed EVs that Ditto can get. And if I can stack up its HP now, then we have a better chance of surviving against later stuff because we'll have more HP than it. Now, we also can get the metal powder for Ditto. That's something that we'll try to get later because that will increase Ditto's defensive stats after it transforms. And we can get that by catching other Dittos. And there's a 5% chance that it will hold a metal powder. And we definitely will do that because it's going to give us one of the edges that we need for Ditto to be able to do stuff with it. For it to stand a better chance in its fights. No, thank you. Caterpies right now, thank you. Not that I expect us to take this one out, but we can get down to oh, maybe we will. Nope, we missed that last tackle. We would have been fine if we hadn't missed that last tackle. Alright, let's keep going. I think it's funny, too, that when Shiny Ditto transforms, it transforms into the shiny version of the Pokemon it's facing. We've seen that already with the Caterpies that we fought. I can transform on this one. Alright, we need to use 5 string shots before we can get to a struggle. Very nice, Ditto. No Pikachu. No Pikachu. We finished getting Ditto up, and then we can focus on Castform. It's kind of what we're trying to do right now with swapping it in and out again. Alright, we almost have Ditto up to level 8. Castform's at level 7, so that's good. needs one more. Alright, let's go heal Castform. And then finish getting it up. And then we'll go beat up on our rival. Hopefully. So things to keep in mind with this team. Ditto needs a turn to transform. It'll copy the stats for the other Pokemon. We are not evolving Azurill and Swablu. They are going to be what they are. And Smeargle learns Sketch every level that ends with a 1. So every 10 levels, starting from level 1, be 11, 21, 31, so on and so forth. Needs to see the move in order to sketch it. Nice. That was pretty quick. Alright, rival fight time. Give this a save so we don't have to do that again. We have a Charmander, so our rival has a Squirtle. Okay, that was a huge tackle. Another one. Stop that. I don't know why it was doing so much damage, though. One more, come on. No! A little upset about that. We had it. Alright, well. I'm sure that's just signs of more to come, sadly. Alright, we shouldn't have any issues here. We just need to get to, struggle. Let's just keep Ditto out and struggle through the Caterpie as well. Alright, now we need to go heal. This is the big problem, though, with Ditto early game, is if they don't have enough attacks for us to get through with 5 of each move. We just get that struggle that we need to go heal. Alright, same thing again. We swap for Kakuna. Let's go to Smeargle. Good critical. Ditto goes back to Ditto. Let's go take on these Caterpies up here before we go heal. Castform shouldn't have any issues tackling through this team. Alright, let's go heal again. Mainly for Ditto. Swap Swablu out for this next fight. Guess I could have took on that Kakuna that I ran into. It's not like we won't need the experience. Alright. Swap Ditto up again. This final Weedle. Alright, now we're down to struggles. We're going to take on that trainer before Brock really quick. Let's get that experience in now. With a Azurill. I'll take a few bubbles to get past this Sand Slash, or Sand Shrew. Got it. Very nice. Alright, well, we're going to save our game here, and then we have to get the team up to level 14 off screen. So be that as it may, I think we're going to swap over to Assassin's Creed for the second stream for today, and then we'll move one of the Assassin's Creed streams to do Pokemon later, so it's still the same amount. We do hope you all enjoyed. See y'all next time.